Hello, Scorpio dreamers. Welcome to the Mystic Hawk. I have a special reading for you guys today. It's going to be based on the solar eclipse in Sagittarius that hit the South Node in Sagittarius as well. This how it's going to affect you for the next 3 to 6 months. So this is a really a big deal, something that's been going on for the last year and a half since May 2020. um you know, that's when the South Node and moved into Sagittarius and really restricted a lot of us in a lot of ways. Collectively, of course, it was international travel for very obvious reasons to us all at this point. So before I get into that, I want to remind everybody through my website, themystichawk.com, you can get personal readings and buy quartz crystals that I hand dig myself in the Ouachita Mountains. So from the earth to my hands to you. You can also, I do have a Mystic Hawk channel on TikTok. It's new, just getting started, but the Mystic Hawk 44, you can access that through the website as well as my Etsy store. And I use the Etsy store so that I may offer international shipping to you guys. I do want to talk about my personal readings. The personal readings, I have the audio readings, the pre-recorded audio and pre-recorded video readings available. And I have the live readings available. Those are just really awesome, just powerful results. That's when you meet with me one-on-one. Very often it's channeled largely, a few cards, largely channeled, because I'm telling you more and more, and I can't guarantee it, but 99% of the time, one of your loved ones or ancestors from the other side, friends, whoever, they do come through, and they like to do it during the live reading so they can interact with you, and really make that connection. Both of our energies are there. With those readings, you get a free jewelry point quartz crystal that I dug myself that has the energy of the reading in it. Those are for the crystals I can only send to the U.S. residents, but if you're international, you can still get the live reading, and that's via phone, Zoom, or FaceTime. You can get one of those readings. FaceTime, phone and FaceTime, United States only. Zoom is for the internationals. So through Zoom, you can still get that and the audio recording of the reading that you can have forever and ever. It's downloaded, it's yours. I am trying to set up through Etsy, perhaps shipping the crystals that way to you so I can get them to you internationally. But I haven't worked that out just yet. So, and then again, please like, share, subscribe. It really does help to get the analog going and get the Mystic Hawk back online. Yes, I was on a bit of a walkabout, people. It was very necessary for my personal growth so I could bring you the best possible readings. Now, Scorpio, back to you, right? Yeah, that was a little commercial break. So Scorpio, this particular the eclipse in the South Node, Sagittarius. Now, this is for Scorpio risings primarily. Now, sun sign Scorpios, moon sign Scorpios for you as well. But of course, you want to pay attention to your rising sign because this is very pertinent to a particular Scorpio rising. But the Scorpio suns, I'm going to look at it as if you're a first house Scorpio, and that means that Sagittarius would be in your second house. The second house is the money that you earn, through a job or through your own business, and the possessions that you have, anything that, not property or houses, but anything you can put in or on the property and house, all the belongings that go inside. This is also ruled by the second house. So and these cards here, this is my way of trying to give you the best possible example I can in a collective reading, what it's like to get a personal reading live. And first, I tune into the ancestors. They give me some basic cards through the oracle cards. We have the Ancestor Speak card. We have Beyond Lemuria and the medicine cards. I picked one of each. The ancestors, the collective Scorpio ancestors, came in and said, this is what we want to say to Scorpio. Okay, so and then I'm going to how it relates to the second house. It's really interesting because they don't, I guess they do know I'm talking about the second house, but it's been a really amazing how they've come through. And you are no exception, Scorpio, because what they're talking about is the need to interact and relate, has to do with communications with others and your creativity as it relates to the second house, which is a job, which, job or the business you do, whatever you do for money, for the money that you make and earn. So all of this is going to combine some kind of creative skill or talent that you have, and bringing it together with others to combine that and create a business. Now, this is the South Node. You may have already been doing this for a while, and that situation is dissolving. Perhaps how you're relating to other people, the kind of business that you do. It may be dissolving that you've always worked for other people all your life, and now you're ready to go out on your own. So there is this issue of the money you make and how you bring this money in and how you go about it, and the fact that you really need to express your creativity more. That's probably what this fight, that's what South Node and Sagittarius causes us to fight and look really deep and really dig into the situation and see what the problem is, and why am I having difficulty taking my creative energy, putting it out into the world and making money, as opposed to these other avenues like working for other people or corporations. That's really not very creative, right? How that has dampened the spirit, how you want to expand in that way. So it's about letting go of the old beliefs and old ideas. Could even be the beliefs that, oh, I can never do that, or I don't have the resources or time and the energy to really make this work, or whatever reasons you've been telling yourself why you can't do it. Spirit is saying time to throw those excuses out the window, because the door's about to open wide open for you, Scorpio, especially over the next 3 months between now and March in particular. It could, and this energy will be fading out into May. So it's like a wave. It comes crashing in. First, it was that first crash in was the actual eclipse, taking that away and bringing something new in, these new ideas. And we're going to have some ebb and flows in the situation. And I'm feeling that's, doing the practice, practicing either your skill, your talent, or having to figure out how to work with others. So there is this element of having to be part of a group. I do see it being, for a lot of you, a smaller group. Again, not so much in the traditional way, something that you can bring your own particular talent, skills, and abilities. They want me to go to the spider first. And so the spider card, this is Grandmother Spider. She's the one that brought language and the alphabet to the peoples, so that we could write and share our stories, because the stories were going to be so big and so great, that petroglyphs and the spoken word wasn't going to be enough, storytelling and handing them down. So this is also about creativity and how you connect with the infinite source of the universe. As you notice, the spider's body is like a figure 8. That's infinity. If you lay it on its side, the figure 8 is an infinity. So infinite possibilities, and he has 8 legs through the 4 directions and the 4 winds of change. Okay, so this is infinite possibilities of what you could do with your skills and talents that you've been working on, especially within the last year and a half. Perhaps even before that, but it's been this back and forth energy. I see for some of you it could be, all the way back to 2017 to 2019, that some of these ideas could have started filtering down, but it was about how to manifest it and make it real, make this situation actually work. For you, some of you, bigger than a hobby or just an idea on paper, depending on what this creative project is. And of course, during these last year and a half, a lot of projects, especially creative projects, were put on hold because of, you can't say anything on YouTube anymore, but you know what the hell's been going on in the world. Anyway, this is also about nonverbal communication. You hear what I'm saying? Nonverbal communication within a group, or among a significant other, but this is family group. Look, this is also reconnecting with family. The ancestors are talking about perhaps there's family or friends that you haven't talked to in a while. There's somebody perhaps that's been popping in on your mind, that telepathy, that nonverbal communication that you have with certain people, to really be able to clear up some possible misunderstandings, because not everybody has the same language. You see things and feel things in such a deep way. By the time it gets into words, which are spells, that's what Grandmother Spider said, spelling. I'm going to give you an alphabet to spell. Okay, people, really be careful what you're thinking, what you're saying to outside to other people, all as well as to yourself. I can't do this, will never work. That is putting a spell on yourself. You're actually putting a blocking spell on yourself. Yeah, everybody's been talking about this karmic put a spell on that one. Well, guess what? We put them on ourselves. We are the worst enemy about doing that to ourselves. And they all come from that belief systems, and those belief systems that need to be pushed out, that's being excreted out by K2. It's really like the bottom end of the dragon. That's the south node of the moon, saying these situations, this belief system, this can no longer ride in reality. This ain't happening anymore. And it needs to be purged. Scorpio, I know you understand purging, releasing, letting go of that. And part of this purging and releasing and letting go is for some of you stepping past your fears and opening up and being a little bit more vulnerable so that you can establish a better level of communication, especially if that person, if it's important to you to make that connection, or you're within a group and working with people, you're instead of just like, you just don't understand, so I don't want to deal with this. This is one of the scenarios I'm seeing. Is like, okay, how do I reword this? How do I put this in the way that this person understands? There's so many different languages in the world. I also see people dealing with people that from lots of different cultures and speak lots of different languages, things getting lost into translation. Also, different love languages. Different people have different love languages. So making sure that, those fit. Maybe have to make a little adjustment within partnerships. The universal language, however, is art, music in particular, but anything that is artistic, that speaks to us all, right? A painting, music, sculpture, something that you make, some jewelry, whatever it is, or even in my case, crystals. You may not understand English, but you understand crystals are pretty and powerful, right? Most people do. Just through that feeling that we have, that connection, the universe speaking to us through the crystal, which is solid air, is what I was talking about to Taurus. Quartz crystal I consider to be air solidified. So, I digress. What were we talking about? Communication, co-creating with others for using communication. So this could also be a collaborative communication project that you may have with a friend or a family member. One of the things that Spider likes to that speaks about is, this is where it comes in handy to be a dreamer instead of one of the dreamed. So, because if you're a dreamed, you're like a fly that gets caught into the spider's web, and she wraps you up and encases you within her reality. She takes you into her illusion, the Maya, the spider web. But if you're the spider, so you don't want to be the fly, the dreamed, you want to be the dreamer, which is the spider in this situation, the one that weaves the webs, the one that is creating within the illusion, co-creating through communication and creating a new paradigm and new reality that works better for yourself as well as others. There's an issue, though, if you're feeling a block in your creativity, to be aware of where you are inside when you're around someone else that does not have a block in creativity, and their creativity is flowing and they're beginning to see success. How do you feel about that, Scorpio? Are you happy and joyous for your friend that perhaps is doing something similar, or even within the same group that you're operating in? Are you happy for them that they're successful? Or is there some jealousy and envy there? Do you have some resentment about it? And really, who are you really resentful of? Yourself, perhaps, for not using your own creativity and getting out there yourself. Whatever out there means, putting your product out there. You do YouTube videos like that instead of screaming at the computer, the phone, or the TV. Make your own videos, right? Say what you want to say if you don't like what you're hearing, right? That kind of thing. If you don't like the kind of artwork you're seeing, make your own painting or story, whatever it is you do. Definitely a need to reconnect and get out of the hermit zone. This is also what interacting and relating means. Is maybe you've been a hermit for too long, as we all have, right? And it's time to get out there and start connecting with others. You could be in the lab, whatever your creative lab is, studio, lab, workshop, writing table, you name it. Whatever your lab is, it's time to come out of the lab and go meet some of the people, because there needs to be a balance between interrelating with others, because working with others will help you to help your creativity to be more inspired. Seeing what other people do and coming from a place of being happy for them because they're flowing, which means if you're happy for them that they're flowing in a direction, that means your flow opens up as well, and you can share stories and be inspired and be uplifted in the situation. Yes, I'm hearing from some of your ancestors that know you very well, Scorpio. Some of you says somebody out there's ancestor or friend said, check yourself before you wreck yourself, Scorpio. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. And really, I don't feel there's a major worry about this, but feelings are sensitive. Perhaps your feelings are sensitive. Whatever it is, if you can be joyous for another and uplift them, then that is actually you doing that for yourself. What you do for others, you do for yourself. I'm not talking about giving all your time and attention and to keep it out of the codependency zone into the true support zone where you're not their only energy for that situation. I'm talking to one or two of you for that. So there's a fine line between that, but you're good with that. What they're wanting Scorpio to do is you may have removed yourself too much from people, and it was great at the time, and you were really involved, and you really have been successful in some of the creations that you do, but it's time to put them out and let people see them. Share them with other people, especially if you're making something for sale. It's time to let people know what you have, even if it's just a small amount and it's just in a small community with people. Okay, let's get out the card, Scorpio, and see, that was my crystal channeling from your ancestors. They will continue to talk with these cards, don't worry. First one we have out, it's the Page of Wands. Again, get out there and communicate. Let people know what you got going on, Scorpio. Share some of the, get out there and talk. Talk shop with people. That's what people of like mind, people in your like-minded circle, whatever that means to you. If it's, along your creative genre, so to speak, right? And it might take walking away from the people Look, he's like leaving his mom behind to go out into the world this way. Go out into the world. The Page, going out in the world for the first time to go find himself. I'm not a kid anymore. The idea is not in. It is time to move from the infancy of the Ace of Wands, that new beginning, to developing it far enough all the way up to the Page, so that he could take it out into the world and start sharing it with others. This might have been you in the past, where some of you may actually have left home and moved far away from family, or distance yourself, even if you're not, even if you live in the same town. The way that the world is now, you may not have gotten to see them as much. There might have been reasons where you weren't allowed to see them. But perhaps if one of your older relatives were in a nursing home or something, that just wasn't, they wouldn't let you in. You know, it's just having that distance, but it's time to come back home, is what I'm hearing. Couple more here. 3 more, 4 more. Okay. That's how I picked them up. That's how they're gonna lay down. So we have the 4 swords. This again is coming out of, you know, hermit mode, coming out of this mode where you really needed to heal. And especially after a major battle. It might have been because of breakup, a 2 of Cups situation, unrequited love, something didn't work out. Or even so, there might have just been some miscommunication. You walked away from a situation, isolated yourself, and had you just come back and had a little bit different style of communication, everything would have worked out fine. There still is this 10 of Pentacles situation. I don't know if that's home and family life. That can represent home, family, marriage life. But what I'm seeing, this is in your 2nd house here. So we're talking about the money you earn. So there's an opportunity to do well with whatever you do, whatever that means to you. Some people doing well is like, I make $1 million a year. That's doing good to me. And other people, you know, if you only make 10,000-20,000, you're thinking that's pretty good. It might just be your side gig. So hey, that's extra money. Great, wonderful. Whatever this 10 of Pentacles means to you. The 2 of Cups is still here. There might be a possibility to recover the situation, especially and again, this is miscommunication. Okay, this is all 3 miscommunication. Might be around a home or something that was inherited, or some kind of housing situation. Right here, we're under communication. Something about a family. And left someone, you or someone else, feeling like they're out in the cold. I do see it's you, but maybe you're in this situation, but maybe you could even be possibly surrounded by a bunch of people, but still feel isolated and alone, because for some reason it's keeping you disconnected, or so much work, you're not getting out to meet someone. You're really needing this kind of really intense, intimate connection, but for whatever reason, it's been all about the work and home, okay, situation. But a lot of this disappointment and hurt, whatever it is, enough time has passed that the door may be open for you to be able to communicate and let that person know what was really going on with you and how you did feel about that situation. Definitely, you know, your creative skills. I mean, your workmanship or whatever that you've been working on, the project, this thing that you've been doing with your creativity, you've really gotten it to a point of mastery. I mean, really risen it to a higher level. Definitely feeling kind of tired. It's been a lot. It's been this work situation. There's been a lot of battles, a lot of uphill battles. Again, with the miscommunication with others, it could be some fighting that you had to do. One of the things about Sagittarius in the South Node, feeling like you have to defend your belief system. This is how I see it. This way it is. This could be real, you know. And instead of, you know, that is a reactionary thing, is feeling like you need to defend your beliefs. And coming from a response place, maybe that's what you're learning, this new communication that you're learning is coming from a way where I'm going to respond and not react to these situations. And responding means not having to defend your beliefs, just listening. Keep an open ear and open mind and listening to what the other person has to say without taking it personally. Just, this is where they're coming from. I'm going to hold space for them and allow them to talk without putting my beliefs on them about what I believe about it. My beliefs are solid. Nobody can change my beliefs, but I'll listen to what they have to say. You might just hear that you miscommunicated something, find out you're on the same page all along. You know, just you had a different language. And popcorn means one thing in one language, and it means a whole nother thing in another language. What do you mean popcorn mean? You know what I'm saying? All right, Scorpio, you got it, right? Popcorn. Oh. Then I said popcorn. Look who popcorn down the deck. The old devil himself. Yeah, the devil's playing popcorn with you. Somebody's got a funny ancestor in here. That okay, that's somebody's ancestor. The devil, well, it kind of came out reverse. I'm going to give you that because when I saw it on the floor, it was reversed. So we upright or reverse. It's coming, overcoming and walking away from some really toxic situations. This love situation could have been really codependent and toxic, and still healing from that. That might have been what caused you to go within and in hermit mode. Walking away even from toxic family members. We're not necessarily love relationship. Woo, Scorpio. What do we have here? Oh. Wow. Okay. Kind of see that here. Lay them out. Got the World card. That's an end of a cycle. Leaving this devil energy behind. Bye-bye. In the Chariot. Victory, success, but taking action to get, literally, maybe even getting your car and leaving behind this fighting bullshit. This is actually a 7 of Wands. You've kept your higher ground, but man, how much? Who wants to spend their life just fighting, fighting? You know, devil energy all the time. This is Gabriel here coming with this horn, judgment angel. I mean, to witness this situation, said enough of this bullshit. I'm done. Scorpio's like, I'm out of here. Goodbye. No more. So this is some situation. And this may be why you want to be in more hermit mode, because you just had enough of all this kind of fighting and difficulty. But you did move, and maybe even actually move house, but moved on, moved to another job for a lot of you. Got out of this job that was all toxic and full of crap, perhaps even a business you may have had with a marriage partner, somebody you were married to. Like, there's so many different possibilities, but whatever it is, you got out of a really situation where you felt like you always had to defend your beliefs, defend where you were coming from, defending your right to be, and more into a situation where you feel like you're ascending up out of it. This is Judgment Day and the Judgment Angel moving past that. Something came along and you know, like the upper echelons, not man law, but God's law came through and said, you know, put a kibosh on that. That's what I'm hearing. Somebody's ancestors said kibosh. Okay. All right, see, they're getting the ideas. This is the first time I've done readings like that. Now they're getting into it. It took about the first 5 or 6 readings, and then they oh, that's what we're doing. Okay, we'll play with you. They love it. Next card, Scorpio, Ace of Wands, the boom boom stick too, right? But anyway, the Ace of Wands is fire, creativity. Your creativity is being fired back up. You know, you were worn out. You really had to fight for what you love to do. That's what I'm hearing, Scorpio. Is like, why do I always have to fight for what I love to do, or how I see fit, you know, what kind of job I want to do, how I want to make my money. But, you know, that old cycle really has shut down, and you've moved on. Some of you actually did, like, move to a whole new place to live, a whole new house, maybe in a whole new state, whole new city, just to get out of this situation where this devil energy was, because it was draining you, emotionally draining you. And it may be that you and your partner moved and things are better now, but you still need to work on that communication and thinking of what are you going to do for work. Some of you may be about to graduate college, you know, finally. There was a little bit of delay on that, and now you're about to get out in the world, like, what do I do? Now I got to go out and make the money. Right. But definitely feeling better. I do see feeling like money is better. But it was a process. It was pretty, for the last couple years or so, it's been pretty difficult, up and down. So a lot of disappointments, especially when it comes to working with other people in creative projects. So let's see what these cards have. Patience. You've had to have a lot of patience. And yet, you know, sometimes from the beginning of this, what if you did start like back in 2017, 2019, somewhere in there? And a lot of patience, had to have a lot of patience, a lot of groundwork. Maybe you had to go to school, you had, or some kind of learning process to learn how to do what you're doing in the first place. Or maybe it was just you through trial and error and finally building something up slowly but surely, and over time and with patience it came about. But now it's time for action. It's there we are, time to put things into action and get things moving, put that creativity in action. That's what, again, that's what the Ace of Wands is saying. You got the whole new world situation, Chariot going to action. Gabriel's giving you the green light. Or if it's not the green light, he's taking his horn and blowing it up your ass, all right? You know? Go for it. Get out of this doldrum. It's time to move on. No more. Rise, dead one. Come out of the closet and be a human again, right? Relate to people, interact. Time to be social again. Come out of that house, whatever. Coming out of the closet doesn't mean the same things it used to. You know, back in my day, it only meant one thing. Come out of the closet means you're a rainbow, right? But no, now it means I'm coming out of the closet it's a hairdresser. I'm coming out of the closet. It's my official, authentic self. I was like, okay, because we all had some closets, didn't we? The world is so complicated with all these words and spells we're putting out there, right, Scorpio? How complicated communication is, and especially when you're communicating with all life and you feel everything, every sight, every color, every, you know, expression on somebody's face. It tells a whole story. You know, one look, that's a whole story. And you know, the people say, I didn't give you that look, and you're like, yeah, I saw it. I saw the whole story in that one look. That's all I need to know. The person like, what? You never know. May not be. That person may not have the same language that goes with that look. It never hurts to double check. What else we have to say, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Sacred Destiny cards can be... I cannot make this shit up. You saw these cards fall out. Now, there's a bunch of them, but I'll just go ahead and get community. Then there's a rainbow and the butterflies. So definitely, I see coming out of the closet, whatever that means to you, and into your community, coming out, bringing your creative project. Maybe you're showing your videos. Maybe you're showing your artwork. Literally coming out of the closet, old school style. I don't know. But what it is coming out in the community and being your authentic self, whatever that means to you. Okay? And then we have this release, because it feels like a great release to actually be free and to be yourself, to release your product, to release the idea. Brings a lot of illumination to the situation. But they said keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep the communication simple. Keep how you launch this situation simple. It doesn't need to be a big ordeal. Just, you know, keep it simple, and be willing to release it. A lot of the times, especially, I'm feeling a lot of artists in here. That's why I'm talking about that. Could even be people getting involved in theatrics, theatrical arts and stuff like that. Like I said, making movies, videos. That's where you have to have all of these different people, and you know that. I don't know. Have you ever worked with actors? Yeah, people that are in the public eye. Yeah, and you put several of them together, and everybody thinks they're the queen or the king. Yeah. Yep. Scorpio, I don't need to say any more, do I? But, you know, it is about releasing. So you might have completed the project, 10 of Pentacles here, and it's time to release that project out into the world. Woo-hoo. Wow, Scorpio. Time to get your creative on, baby. Yeah, let the world know what you got, who you are, what you can do, because there's money to be made, yeah? Okay, you get a job out of it. You may create your own job, have your own business. Whatever the situation, you It's not going to happen at all if you don't get it out there and start sharing it with others. All right, Scorpio, there you go. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for any comments that you like to make, so long as they keep them on light and bright and positive side. You know, well, that's why we want to keep it in here. Anyway, that's all I have for now. And till next time, sweet dreams, Scorpio. Bye-bye now.